So Mo's wife, Tania, and their children, Aisha, Amani, Hussein and Rhianna. Good morning to all of you. How lovely to see you.
What a beautiful family you are.
Look at that.
Look at you.
Good morning.
What a beautiful garden. Having watched the way he's gone in there, and Mo is such a... I remember on the cube when he was the only person ever to win the cube. He is so serene. What was he like on the lead up to going in, Tania?
He was pretty chilled out about it, actually. I don't think it dawned on him that he was going in properly until a couple of days beforehand when we were in isolation. He just started talking about it more a couple of days beforehand, and suddenly it hit him that he was going in, and he started getting really nervous. But right up until then, he was really chilled about it.
Who are you talking to?
We're loving Hussein here.
Hussein, what are you saying, Hussein?
Hussein, they want to know what you're saying.
Are you missing your dad?
Now
Are you missing Daddy?
He's mouthing it, which is it's absolutely brilliant. What was
He wants to know who I'm talking to.
Yeah, fair enough. No, and quite right too. Sitting in the garden talking to nobody. In those 2 days, though, when you say it dawned on him when you were in isolation, what was it that he is most worried about?
Definitely the snakes. And I think it's because I let slip to the producers when they came to check on us in isolation that he was scared of snakes. And I thought he'd already told them that. And obviously he hadn't. And so he was really annoyed that I'd told them, because he said, well, that's it, they're going to give me snakes now. And I said, well, I thought you already told him that. He said, of course I didn't tell him. So it was then that the last couple of days that he was like, I'm going to get snakes, I'm going to get snakes. And he just started getting really nervous about the whole thing, because he realised that he hadn't gotten away with possibly the snake phobia.
The problem is, Tania, is that, you know, you told the producers, they'll have been thinking about it. Obviously, you can't get the snakes unless you're voted for the snakes. Now everybody knows, because you've just said it on here.
Literally, the producers are rubbing their hands together.
If there are any snake trials, I'm assuming now, then that's where it's going to go. So, yes, he's going to get snakes.
Rhianna,
I personally want to see that, because he can handle anything except snakes.
Rhianna, how do you think your daddy's doing?
Actually, I wasn't expecting much, to be honest. He was quite nervous going in, so I wasn't sure. I mean, he was only nervous for the snakes, and I did think he was selected for that. Yeah. But when he didn't, I was quite surprised. But
and do you want to?
Disappointed, do you actually want to vote him
for a trial? Do you actually want to vote him for a trial?
Completely, yeah. I want to see him in there so badly.
He seems to be able to literally sleep anywhere. I mean, he fell out the hammock and then decided, right, OK, well, whatever, I'll sleep underneath it, Tania.
Yeah, that's typical Mo. He will sleep anywhere, and when I saw that, I wasn't surprised at all. He's quite an unfussy person, so, and he loves his sleep, obviously. So when he fell out, I think it was more effort for him to get back into the hammock than anything, so he just thought, I'll just sleep on the floor.
Is he a picky eater? Because he wasn't happy with the eel. He didn't look very happy about that, although he did enjoy the quail last night.
He can be. I think if he's used to the food and he's had something similar before, he'll eat it. But if it's something that he doesn't like, he'd rather starve. He's that kind of guy. He'd rather go without. But he does have a massive sweet tooth, so anything that's got any kind of sugar in, he'll eat.
Well, he's absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'm worried. He's got the skinniest legs.
But he's got so much energy as well. Do you worry about the fact that he can't exercise?
A little bit, because he gets restless, like he was in isolation. He, you know, after the first few days, you could tell he was getting, like, he was climbing the walls a bit, because he couldn't leave the house, he couldn't do any proper running outside. He had a treadmill inside, but he was used to doing a lot more. So I think after a while, he will start to get more and more restless, because there's only so much you can do in the castle.
If he's not eating, does he get hangry?
No, I've never seen him hangry, but he does love his coffee, his caffeine. And sugar, so I think that might get to him. But I think he'll do all right without food for so long.
Amazing. Let's have a show of hands from all of the children. If you could ask, because I know that the little ones can't hear us. Tania, if you could ask them, do they think that Daddy's going to win?
Guys, a show of hands. Who thinks Daddy's going to win the show?
Me. No, I mean, show your hand.
Raise your hand if you think he's going to win. Hussein's opted not to raise his hand.
Two out of 5.
It's not across the board.
Best support, really.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much indeed. Jordan's friend, William Hanson, also has joined us this morning. Morning, William. Well, we've had you on here talking about etiquette and the right way to do things. So far, we've watched him be sick on the side of a hill. He's been absolutely terrified going to his happy place, and last night, retching at a dinner table. So what does an etiquette expert say about that?
Well, I did actually. I was very pleased to see that actually, just before the eating trial started last night, the other two had their elbows on the table, and Jordan actually did suddenly put his hands underneath the table, as is correct etiquette when there was no food present, when he was waiting for these ghastly dishes that came. But downing soup, there were no finger bowls that Ant and Dec provided either. It was a bit of a shame. I would have demanded that, or a napkin.
At least.
He's been actually compared to Gillian McKeith. Do you think there's any comparison whatsoever?
Well, I mean, dare I say, and obviously I'm Jordan's friend here, not Gillian's, but I would say with Jordan, what you see is perhaps genuine.
Do you think he wants to win? And do you think he can win?
Oh, I think, Jordan is such a wonderful chap. We are incredibly close. We obviously do our podcast, Sex With My Boss, together. And he is what you see is what you get. There's no side. There's no veneer to him. That is him. He is being genuine. He has 4 major fears: heights, snakes, enclosed spaces, rats is the other one. I'm sure that is coming. But actually, we're so early into the competition, but he's already sort of ticked off 3 of his biggest fears. So anything that really comes now, unless we start combining all of those and doing all 4 at once, I think he's actually done incredibly well.
You, I think either you did or you do, but I think it was lived 17 floors up. And when he came round to see you, that he wouldn't get in the lift, he'd walk up the stairs.
Yes, he would walk up the stairs every time without fail, even though I offered to sort of be in the lift with him or do anything. He would insist on walking up 17 flights. He would arrive at my flat like Lassie on a hot day, and I'd have to have a little glass of water ready for him to drink, and he'd have to calm down for 5 minutes before we actually were able to sit down and eat.
So William, knowing all this, did you not advise him to not go into the jungle? Into the castle, sorry.
Yeah, we had lots of conversations about it, and he loves the show. He's watched every series. It's his absolute favourite television programme. I think in Jordan's wonderful, sort of sweet, innocent way, he perhaps didn't really realise that actually he will be having to do these trials at some point. He probably didn't realise he was going to have to do them so soon, but throwing up on the side of a cliff has sealed his fate for the rest of the programme.
And is it normally Princess Margaret that's the picture behind you when you do these chats?
Correct. It is normally Princess Margaret, but she has been replaced with Jordan.
How easy it happens.
Oh, thank you, William. Thank you so much.
Thank you, William.